Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia. This is the summary for the day of 62, 26th of April. So the latest information that's coming out from here is that the YouTube SBU unit, the SBU, YouTube SBU, shadow ban unit has embedded themselves underneath the like button. So I need you guys to help me do some operations on this SBU unit that have infiltrated into our channel, and they are now hiding based on good intel that is hiding underneath the like button. So I need you guys to do something about it. And let's get to the summary. So before we enter Ukraine, breaking news: Russia Gazprom has cut off gas supply to Poland and Bulgaria. So this is according to RT.com, and I believe this is accurate. Gazprom, Russia's main natural gas supplier, has announced complete halt in gas export to Bulgaria and Poland on Wednesday after the two countries refused to make payments in rubles. So according to the company statement, the supplies will not resume until the two countries comply with the new terms. So the energy giant, which is Gazprom, also warned that if Bulgaria and Poland start stealing, so siphoning is stealing, the gas transited intended for other countries, Gazprom will reduce the supplies by the amount Sofia and Warsaw, basically Bulgaria and Poland, have illegally withheld. So the gas pipeline actually goes through from Russia, or probably also go through Ukraine and to Bulgaria and Poland, but the gas pipeline will continue to other countries. So they are warning that if Poland and Bulgaria try to take any gas through the pipeline, they will actually reduce the supply of the pipeline in accordance to how much they have taken, which then will reduce the gas flow into the other European countries, causing them to have gas shortages as well. So I'm not sure if this cutting of the gas supply will have any impact on their gas needs and energy needs. So this one I will follow up with a separate video on the on this cutting of the gas specifically. So moving on into Ukraine. So that missile strike, Russia have struck a railway road bridge at Zatoka. So it's actually this bridge. So this is actually a dual-use bridge. There's actually a road. You can see the cars. You see the road, but it's also a railway bridge. So you can actually see the. Let me go to this side. I think it's clearer. This is the railway. You can see. So this is the dual-use bridge, and then the reportedly has been struck by missiles by the Russians. So this will cut off the usage of this railway to Odessa for reinforcement. So moving on, there is another weird fire happened in Russia, Belgorod. So ammo depot in Staraya Nelidovka is caught fire, and the fire has been contained according to the governor of the Belgorod region. So it's a very small little village here at Staraya Nelidovka, and I believe I might be wrong, but I think this is that facility. Looks really sparse. So, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong, but I think this is the one. So it's very near to the border. Not sure. The cause of the fire is not yet known. So we do not know if this is a sabotage or a missile strike or a helicopter strike, or is it a drone strike. So whatever it is, the mysterious fires and explosions continue in Russia. So this comes at the back of a raising of terrorist alert warning. If you have watched yesterday's summary, Belgorod have actually raised their terrorist alert warning to yellow, whatever that is supposed to mean. So and this still happened. So That's not a lot they can do about it. Russia is a huge country. You can't really have police everywhere. So let's move on to the Mykolaiv Front. In the Mykolaiv Front, there is an offensive by the Ukrainians to the west of Snihurivka. They have captured Novopetrivka, and according to this tweet, or from the information from this source, they also mentioned the Ukrainians captured Shiroke as well as Lyubin. So, or Lyubine. Although these two villages here, these two villages here, I have never indicated them as Russian control, but it is conceivable that they are under Russian control since they are so close to Novopetrivka. So I gave them all the flags. So hopefully you are happy, and if you are pro-Ukrainian, and I have good reason to believe that Kaiserlivka has been captured. This has been mentioned by pro-Ukrainian sources, and I think that since the defeat here, and then there is claim that the Russian forces retreated to Chernobyivka, so I think it does make sense that the Ukrainians have captured this town. Interestingly, in this information, this source here, they said that the Ukrainians originally also captured Klapaya. However, immediately the Russians have counterattacked and recaptured Klapaya. So, which thus this location is still now under Russian control. So the distance between Kaiserlivka to Chernobyivka is just around 10 kilometers. So well within range of artillery. So Kherson is definitely under threat in terms of artillery strikes and missile strikes, and even a tank shell will be able to hit Kherson. So let's watch if the Ukrainians are able to push further, and as well as if they are able to recapture Snihurivka. Moving, okay, so there's another information is that, oh, I forgot to add the source. Oh, there is. So the Russian forces have captured Oleksandrivka. So in yesterday's summary, I mentioned there's video appearing of Russian forces in Alexandrivka, or is it the day before? So we have some kind of confirmation that Alexandrivka has been captured. So this is like a you take one, I take one kind of situation here. So maybe, who knows, the Ukrainians capture Kherson and the Russians capture Mykolaiv. Nah, that's not going to happen. So no changes in the situation in Kryvyi Rih. The Russians are still trying to get through Lyubivka. Moving to the Zaporizhzhia Line. So there's no changes to the front line around here. But the interesting thing was that there's this tweet by Canadian Ukraine One, whom has been providing a lot of the intel on the pro-Ukrainian side. But he came out with this tweet, and then he doubled down on it. So he said that the Russian forces has been pushed back 40 kilometers south in the direction of Mariupol. And that is rather a huge statement, because 40 kilometers, if you have been following the war with us, with DPA, you have known that every kilometer actually takes a lot of effort to capture, and 40 kilometers is like here. They'll be just off Bilmark. So sounds incredible, which is why I don't indicate it, because the lack of locations captured means this information is too vague and too suspicious to be taken seriously. There is actually rumors that Polohi have fallen to the Ukrainians, but so some of the people, the analysts or the OC or the mappers have been commenting that even this is only 20 kilometers at max. So to say 40 kilometers sounds incredible. So but I cannot confirm this information that Polohi has fallen to the Ukrainians, so I'm just gonna leave it because there's only one source mentioning it, and I find it a little vague, so I'm not going to take it, because any Ukrainian progress will be widely reported by the pro-Ukrainian crowd. So to have only one person mention it, I don't think that is accurate. So Donetsk Front, there is no change to the situation in Donetsk region here. They are definitely still fighting around all these places, but no news. In Mariupol, there's no changes to the front line or any sign of fighting. But there is this news. The UN say Putin had agreed in principle to UN and ICRC. ICRC is actually International Committee for the Red Cross. So International Red Cross involvement in the evacuation of civilians from the Azovstal. So according to the statement by Al Jazeera, this article, this is quoted. The article is of course longer. So they said Vladimir Putin has agreed in principle to UN and International Red Cross involvement in the evacuation of civilians from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol. So says the United Nations. So during a meeting in Moscow, Putin and the Secretary General of UN, Antonio Guterres, have discussed the situation at the Azovstal, where the last defenders in Mariupol is holed up. So follow-up discussion will be held with the United Nations at the United Nations Office for the coordination of humanitarian affairs, as well together with the Russian Defense Ministry. So according to the spokesman, Stefane Dujarric. So that's the good news, I guess. So how the things will develop, I'm not sure. So definitely the Russian forces or the Russian ministry is going to veto anything that seems like it will allow any of the fighters to get away. So that's for sure. Moving on to the Luhansk Front. No news at Popasna. The Ukrainians have confirmed the Russian capture of Novopetrivka through their operational information this morning. So according to the statement, on the Severodonetsk area, the guerrillas, which is an interesting word they use, have established control over Novopetrivka and carry out attacks in the area of Nizhny and Orekhov. So basically these two locations. So I have indicated that the fighting is now reported at this location based on this information, and so this corroborates the information that Novopetrivka has fallen. There is no changes and news regarding the Luhansk triangle. So if you add Borovsky, it's not a triangle, it's like a trapeze. Is that what you call it? So anyway, moving on to the Izyum Front. So by the way, this is not in Luhansk. That's why this is part of the Izyum Front. This is actually in Donetsk already. This is actually Donetsk territory. This dot line is actually the border between Luhansk and Donetsk. Yeah, just in case you need to know. The Ukrainian operational information also confirmed the Russian capture of Zaporizhzhia. So they say that on the Lyman direction, which is Lyman is this city here, the enemy have established control over the Zaporizhzhia settlement and carry out assault near the Yampil settlement. So this is a good example of the Ukrainians are willing to admit to losses, which is something that the Russian Defense Ministry will never do. The Russian ministry will only report on good news, but they will not tell anyone about their losses or the cities and towns that they have lost control over. So this is the the positive thing about the Ukrainian operational information. Although most of the operational information is just water is wet. And then there is this breaking news from the Still Wolf Post. They said that the Russians have gained control of Yampil overnight. So this information is purely from them. So I have indicated based on this information. So far, the Silk Wolf Post has been pretty accurate and pretty reliable. So I can take their words for it. There's fighting reported at Rubisi. This is according to the Russian Defense Ministry. So they reported about 500 enemy personnel, 59 armored vehicles, and cars were destroyed, as well as 60 fighters from the National Formation Donbass. So Nationalist Formation Donbass. I think this is something similar to the Azov Battalion. So this is actually, I think maybe this is a right-wing extremist group, perhaps. So I'm not sure how to get the exact number. Maybe they start counting the corps near Rubisi of the Donetsk People's Republic. So they make it clear that this is part of Luhansk, and part of Donetsk. So this number, just take it with a pinch of salt. But this also kind of corroborates that the Russians are at Rubisi or at Rupsi. So, and it seems like the Ukrainians suffered a defeat around here. No other news regarding where the Ukrainians have fallen back to or where the Russians will be heading next. Since the Defense Ministry have mentioned this, we are likely to see more information about the forces here moving forward to maybe Krymiki or Korovila. Depends. We will see how it goes. There is no updates on Peshkov, where is the main front line here. There is some rumors that it has been captured, but I don't think those are accurate. And moving to the west side of Izyum, or southwest of Izyum, on the 24th, which is a few days ago, Petropilia has been captured. This is according to Ukraine Map, one of the best guys out there, but I think they are a bit more pro-Ukrainian, if I'm not wrong. So they have Petropilia has been listed as captured by the Russians based on Ukraine Map. The operational information of the Ukrainians also in the same report they have mentioned about the loss of Zaporizhzhia has mentioned that the Russians have also captured Zaporizhzhia. So Zaporizhzhia has been fighting for around a week now, and they finally have conceded. And very quickly, based on this, I think it's I'm not sure it's pro-Russian or pro-Ukrainian, but this source mentioned that the armed forces of the Russian Federation, which means they are probably pro-Russian, took control of the village of Spivakovka. So this confirms the capture, which means this village here is actually undefended. The defenders are only fighting at Zaporizhzhia. So there's a quick capture here, which is like 4 or 5 kilometers, I guess. And the Ukrainian, under the same operational information that conceded Zaporizhzhia, they mentioned that the Russian forces have captured the northern and eastern side of Velika Komishuvakha. And so by right, it's like this. So I have mentioned that in the quick update that I posted a few hours ago. But the Silk Wolf Post actually gave Velika Komishuvakha under the Russian. So they say that overnight the Russians have taken Velika Komishuvakha. So as a result, I believe that this information might be more accurate than the Ukrainian ones. Maybe the Ukrainians don't want to concede this so quickly, or maybe when the report is written, maybe they haven't lost it. Or whatever it is, I'm just gonna leave it, because if the Russians have captured portions, very soon they'll be capturing the whole of the village. Usually that's the case, unless you're talking about the city of Rubizhne. So anyway, so this is another progress, I guess. But previously we have listed this as under Russian, so not sure when it became a major fight again. So quite curious about that. So that is the Izyum Front. So moving on to Kharkiv, there is no change and update regarding this entire region. So this is the quick update. No, sorry, not quick update. This is the summary for the day of 62 for the 26th of April. And please subscribe if you have not subscribed, and please do something about the SBU unit from YouTube under the like button, and I will see you in the next update.